This is the very first time that I'm riding this bike apart from the showroom to my home. The first impression, just by looking at it, is that it's very tall. It's extremely tall. Even for a person like me, who's 6'2", I'm not able to plant my feet flat on the ground when I sit on the bike. With some difficulty I can, but it's still intimidating. So let me do a quick walk around of the bike before we jump on the bike. This literally looks like a horse and feels like a horse. So this is the Adventure 390 R version, the rally version. So this has knobby tires that is built for the off-roads, but we are going to ride this on the road today, and let me just tell you how this feels. Okay, so I've sat on the bike. As I told you, I'm only able to tip toes. I'm not able to completely flat foot. If I have to flat foot, I can do one side with the bike slightly tilted. Ready to race. Okay, so the first thing that I'm noticing here is it shows the side stand is down, but actually the side stand is up, and when I try to start the vehicle, it doesn't start. So before I got this bike, I was looking at the reviews of this bike, and the first thing that was mentioned was the sensor issue with the side stand. So I'm also experiencing the sensor issue with the side stand. So what I have to do is I have to put down the side stand and again put it back, shake it a little bit till the notification goes not going. Still not going. Okay, so now it has gone. So when I took back the side stand very slowly back, the notification went. When I just left for the spring to work, it goes back to the position, but the notification doesn't go away. Okay, now this has started. Let's start the ride. Just sitting on the bike, this feels very tall. It doesn't feel like I'm sitting on a bike. It just feels like I'm sitting on a horse. Has a very commanding view of the road. Okay, when I move the bike, the first thing that I'm feeling is the tires. The tires are knobby tires that are specifically made for the off-road, and on the highways, on a smooth road like this, I can feel the tire noise and I can feel the vibrations that are caused by the tires because it is a knobby tire. It is not a smooth tire that is made for the tarmac. This road is a concrete road, and the concrete road is not as smooth as the tar road that we see normally on highways. But when I came on this same very highway with my Domina 400, the tires were smooth. I did not feel the tire vibrations, but the suspension was not as good as this, because even though the concrete road looks smooth, it is actually not smooth. There's a lot of unevenness on the road, and the unevenness is not felt on this bike because of the long travel suspension. But I could very well feel this unevenness on my Domina 400, and this unevenness can be even felt on cars when you ride on concrete roads. So I'm on the 5th gear now, and I'm the top gear. This is a 400cc bike, single cylinder. So any 400cc or a 450cc single cylinder is prone to have heavy vibrations on the handlebar or on the foot pedal because it is a single cylinder, and that is unavoidable. Domina 400 was a 373cc engine, and the KTM, previously it was the same engine, but now it has a more refined 399cc engine, and I can definitely see the difference. The vibrations are way less when you compare it with the 373cc engine. Now I'm riding on the 6th gear and speed almost 74, 75, and I don't feel any vibrations on the footback or the handlebar. But if I lower the gear, yes, I can feel the vibrations on the footback. So on 60 I could not feel it in 5th gear, but if I accelerate, yes, when it crosses above 70 I can feel good amount of vibrations on the footback. But when I switch it to the gear 6, that vibration disappears. So in the mid-range I feel a lot of vibrations, especially when the RPM is almost enough to change to the next gear. So now I don't feel the vibrations. This is definitely built for the off-roads. These tires are definitely not built for the highways. I definitely intend to change the tires pretty soon. I can change the tires now, but I did not buy this vehicle for pure off-road use. I bought this bike as an adventure bike, and I chose the rally version because of the long suspension travel and the long seat height, because of my height, which is 6'2". Okay, now we know how this feels on the highway. I'm not pushing the bike to its maximum speed or anything, because the bike is pretty new. It is just 2 days old, and I don't want to push the bike till the engine runs in. So stay tuned, subscribe and press the notification bell, so that when I post videos on this bike every week, you can get the updates immediately. So let me try to take it to the off-roads. I was a little skeptical when I was buying this bike. This is made for off-roads, and I'm buying this to ride on the road for long travel. Is it gonna be okay, or am I gonna regret this? I really had that question. And when I took the bike for a spin initially, I did started doubting myself, doubting my decision of buying a bike with knobby tires like this. But except the tire noise and a little bit of vibration because of the knobbiness of the tires, the suspension on this bike is excellent on any terrain. I've not gone to the off-roads yet, but I feel like most of the Indian roads have a lot of off-roads within them. Potholes, patches of uneven roads, damaged roads. So all these can be considered off-roads. So it's great on the highway. I still don't have the confidence to, when cornering, the kind of confidence that I felt on a Domina 400 while taking corners. I still don't have the confidence, but I think that too I will get used to it, and I'll get used to the geometry of the bike, because this is the first time I'm riding an adventure bike that is this tall, with a different rider's triangle, has a different geometry. So I think that takes a little bit of time to get used to. It's great on the highway, guys. It's great on the highways, except for the tires. If you change the tires to a tire that is more suited for the tarmac, I think you're good to go. There are 3 variants on the Adventure 390. That is the Adventure 390X, S and the R. R is the tallest, which is the rally version, with 230 mm of long suspension travel and a very high ground clearance. So I don't think this is for guys under 6 foot, 6 feet. This bike is definitely for people above 6'2", if you're buying it for on-road use. Actually, this R version is great for people above 6 feet. Even if you're just buying it for on-road use, even if you're never going to take it off-roads, I think the bike's geometry, the height, the seat height, The suspension travel and the ground clearance, everything is just great for highways if you're above 6'2". I'm loving this bike. This is my first ride and I'm really loving this bike. And I see a huge difference between the Dominar 400 and this. So I'm trying to find a patch of off-road where I can take this bike for a short spin. I'm really tempted to push the bike, but I don't think I should for the first 1000 kilometers or so, till the engine runs in. The flickability is great. I'm able to flick the bike so nicely. The only issue that I find on the highway is the knobby tires, but I can live with that. You know, I'm going to change the tires once it wears off, and the next tire change would be a 50-50. 50% road and 50% off-road. The engine's very smooth. Above 100 on 6th gear, the engine's very smooth. I don't feel vibrations. It's absolutely smooth. Look at where we are, guys. There's a hatchback Skoda Kayak car in front of us. Look at the height of the motorcycle. I think you can compare. And I think this is a Splendor, and you can see the height difference between the Splendor and us. Feels quite tall. See? Feels like riding a horse, a very tall horse. Okay, it's time to get to the off-roads. There is a small patch of off-road here, so we're going to try that. I don't have any experience riding off-road on an adventure bike. I don't have the skills. I intend to upgrade my skills. I intend to learn. But let me just try how this bike feels on patches without roads. Okay, so this is where the off-road patch is. Yes. So let's see how this feels here. So this bike is made for this, but the bike is still on street mode. So let's change it to off-road modes. Off-road. So off-road configurations. So now the rear ABS is off, traction control is off, and now we're ready for off-road. I mean, I'm not going to ride so fast because I don't have any experience riding off-road or the skills, but let's see how this feels. Oh, fuck me. The pickup is just different, you know. I mean, I am standing on the bike. It's very punchy. When I put this on off-road mode, it feels very punchy. I shouldn't get overexcited. Oh. I absolutely don't have the experience, but still. This is made for the off-road, guys. I'm sure I cannot ride the Dominar at this speed on places like this. Okay, before I push any further, I think I should learn off-roading, how to handle the bike on an off-road patch. So for uneven terrains, I think the bike is made for that. I'm sure I cannot ride this, ride a Dominar on this patch at this speed. There's a lot of loose sand. The tires are doing its job. This is what the knobby tires are made for. Obviously I cannot sit on the bike, so that is something you're supposed to do. Suspension is awesome, guys. Wasn't that hard to find an off-road patch in India? The bike's behaving very differently in off-road mode and also on the actual off-roads. So guys, do not take any risks without learning off-road skills. Do not push the bike on an off-road patch like this without ABS, without traction control. I seriously don't feel any of the bumps. I don't feel the gravel. I don't feel anything. Actually, this bike is much more smoother on this road than on a tarmac. I don't feel like I'm riding on a bike with rough patches at all. The suspension is just really great. Okay guys, the bike sounds great, is great, feels great. I love this bike already. See you guys soon. Okay, so I'm going to put it back on street mode, and I'm obviously lost. I've come somewhere, so I have to use the GPS and go home. Bye guys, see you soon.